Hey there guys, how we doing? I'm Alec, and I'm going to be doing a map clear with warriors. Want to talk a bit about landings today. I see a lot of people doing very sloppy landings, and it kind of bothers me. So I've gone through this map and just noted a few things on a bunch of different bases. We're going to try to get to as many of these as possible. Gonna try to get through as many of these as possible, so I'm not going to explain a whole heck of a lot about what I'm doing. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, and if you have questions, feel free to ask. I thought this was interesting because I had a grappler, and then we can use the flag landing style here. So this is landing, the flag landing is landing as if you were landing Zookas, except it's not Zookas, it's warriors. Let bullet get ahead. We can do this because this beach is not hot. It's not very well covered, and we're going to smoke when we need to. This person has allowed us to smoke rather late into the base. Have troop health on this account, have 6 GBE, so those are helpful things. Now, should be just 2 shocks here. We're going to get those out a little early. Medkit, always the medkit. So that is the flare style of landing. Now, there are several kind of flag landings I use, so I've got at least a couple of variations to show you along the course of this. Didn't scout this guy. Is there anything interesting here? Not particularly. Flare style landing again. I'll just go ahead and beat him to get it out of the way. Let's see. 1, 2. Do you range? Not even, really. So we can just probably critter off to the right hand side and 1 shock off to the left. Sorry. Thinking out loud there. I see a lot of people do just the thing that bothers me most in the world with warriors is when people just drop a flare on a building and drop their warriors all at once. It's so messy. Don't do that. This is one way of doing it, and I'll show you a couple other ways, and then hopefully I'll never have to see people do that ever again. Now, ground flare, ideally. Sometimes you end up catching the defense there, but in this case I managed to miss the mortar and just use the ground flare, which keeps the warriors running nice and tight together. Excuse me. I think that was my stomach. Just the 2 shocks, the med kit as ever. 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000. He must have had some ice. Oh yeah, there we go. You can kind of get a feel for how long it's taking you there. If somebody has no ice, that HQ is probably down in 3 or 4 swings. There, we're getting to the end of the taunt cycle, so let's see. So, critters. We'll come back to that. Corner setup, we'll come back to that. Okay. Standard landing that I use, which is a flag landing, I will show you here. 1, 2, 3 shocks, it looks like. We don't have many tribe bonuses, so that's actually good because, you know, you're getting to see what a map clear looks like just normally. Now, there's nothing really deadly to bullet here, so I'm going to drop bullet's flag way up the beach and let him get ahead. The shock launchers are going to hit him, and then drop all the warrior flags in one spot right down here. Now what that does is it pulls them in right away. They run off their boats and right to their flag there, and that way everybody gets to the central area of the beach, which is where the smoke is, as quickly as possible. And you don't have to 2-smoke. Now, the critter over here for that machine gun, wasn't sure if that was going to range or not, and that guy hadn't checked it, was eyeballing it, because I was looking at my shocks and thinking maybe I should critter there, but I was trying to be optimistic. So let's see if we can find another one. Standard, yes, I believe. And we're going to try to keep this to like 20 minutes, so that's why I'm trying to hurry through these. In this case, corner setup, I'm going to use a standard landing again. What I want to do for this base is I want to go all the way back to this flamethrower, and if I do that, all I really have to worry about is keeping the grappler off me. Yeah, let's see. So, do have to clear some lines in order to do that. I believe you gotta go for sure. And I think I'm actually going to leave the shock lines. Now, have to pay attention for the grappler. Bullet, wait a second, all of the warriors, in this case, we're going to let the shock mines are going to activate, that's fine, while everybody's getting under smoke, and as soon as we're good, the troop health really helps for something like this, obviously. Even so, that was taking a risk. But now we're back here, and once we're back here, this is a pretty easy day. Just keep the grappler off. Oh, did that machine gun not end up getting taunted? Interesting. I had thought it would definitely be with bullets. Well, that's why I went to the flamethrower in the first place. No harm, no foul, but some extra casualties because of that. Not very good tribe bonuses. I forget what the defensive bonus is. Flamethrower health, cannon damage, Zuka health, heavy damage, artillery cost reduction is the only thing that's really helping here. Resource reward. Let's see. So back to that standard landing again, which is flag bullet, and then everybody else. So I'm just doing this a few times so you can get a good idea of what it looks like. Really not that hard, just a question of timing. This one, we're going to use this machine gun as a gathering point. Right in the middle of the beach, he's split two defenses there. I want to run up this line to the HQ, but there is no defense here, so I'm going to use that. Now, not going to let Bullet get as far up the beach this time because of the blaster. So, blaster grabs Bullet and can really mess with you, so we respect blasters around here. A healthy respect, not a fear, mind you. They're not going to stop us from doing what we do, but just to choose shocks, medkits, critter back there for the doom cannon. Nice. So, the timing varies a little bit. It's a very easy landing to do. I don't know why more people don't do it. It helps in a hot-ish beach situation to use this landing. Let's see, what were you? Do one more of those. It helps to get your guys under smoke pretty quickly and saving a little bit of GB on the way. Let's see, here we're going to need shock. Actually, I want to go to this sniper tower. Bullet doesn't do much in the middle of this base, but in this sniper tower he can take this one flamethrower out of play. Still need 3 shocks from there. The cheap arts are pretty nice. The cost goes up. It's one at a time, I think. So you can use a lot of arts. So, Bullet. Now, a bunch of things are going to key on him here, but nothing that's particularly bad. So, drop the warriors back there, let everything fire off, whatever. Get everybody sort of in the direction of the smoke, and then flag. Now, I always preach straight paths, and that is not what we're doing here. I was meaning to go to the sniper. I think I'm going to be okay with regards to the flamethrower anyway, so shock, and a shock. Yeah, Okay, so that worked. I usually preach straight paths. That was not a straight path. Sometimes you can, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you can take a risk on that. Actually meant to go up to the sniper and just kind of abandon that midway. But yeah, I mean, all that stuff starts shooting at bullet down on the beach, but so what? The shock launchers lock him into place, the boom cannons take a little bit of health off. But he's fine, and it gets everybody under smoke there with less GBE used. Now here, I've decided that this is a base where we use 2 smoke, and you'll see why. There is a grappler, so cannot just drop bullet as we did before. Sometimes you can do that. Oop, that was not intentional. Sometimes you can do that, but that's a different, there's a different game that worked there, and we're not going to be doing that here. This is a very hot beach, and part of the heat on the beach, along with the grappler, is this pair of hot pots, which are really bad for warriors. Flamethrowers on steroids, basically, and the hot pots. The hot pots cause several problems for warriors. It also cause problems for Bullet because they're hidden underground, so he's not going to stop as he will here. He's going to stop just in front of that boom cannon. Because it's a defense above ground, he finds his range, he stops. But since the hot pots are underground, he doesn't find his range, he doesn't stop, and he'll just keep on walking right out of smoke. And then the grappler would see him, and then we would die, and that would be bad. So under certain circumstances, it's certainly fine to use the extra smoke. I mean, do what works for you regardless, but nope, that guy back there did not get taunted. That's because we went to this side. Sometimes you just want to make sure that you get enough bodies there to be able to take the base down. The hot pots, most other defenses, if they see you as you're gathering up on the beach, a regular flamethrower torches you a little bit, you're fine. A flare landing, let's see what we have here. Okay, so flare landing because we want to stay low on the beach here to gather everybody up, so we'll go back to that style. What do we need for? Okay, don't have to shock this, that's good. 1 shock, 2 shocks, looks like 3 shocks to be safe. Don't have to do the blasters, but we're going to. And hopefully oh nope, the machine gun does not die. I was going to say we can get a little GBE back there, but oh. So this is okay, again, because everything's set back, nothing is really ranging the beach, so we have all this space to get gathered the way we would want to. Now, that's just a rogue tap, don't mind me. Bullet is in the perfect spot there. He's going to be taunting that shock launcher for me. Thanks, Bullet. And the med kit. Some ice. Not too bad. Not very many shields left. I'm only seeing a couple. They'll be going away soon enough, I think. So that's a little disappointing. We probably won't get to see any of those. I didn't see any when I was scouting through this map looking for hits. That was interesting. Take a wild guess which landing I'm going to be using here. Also, don't flare the HQ so early. I use a lot of ground flares. I see people who, they get gathered on the beach having thrown already 17 smokes because they did that thing that I said not to do. Actually, I want to demonstrate that on one of these bases here, just so you know exactly the thing I'm talking about, and then you know not to do it. So yes, that was the standard flare landing, by the way, if you were guessing. 3 shocks. So yeah, they do the landing that I hate anyway. And then from there, they proceed to flare directly to the HQ. And the warriors are just running all over the place because they run in a very fat pattern because an HQ is a large building. If you use a ground flare, they run in a narrow pattern. If you use flares to narrow buildings, like defenses, 3x3 buildings, you have a much better running line. Let's see if I can do this here. So what they'll do is they'll do something like this. Just flare the building and then drop. And in this case, actually, it works better than in some others. Retreat. Because the buildings are close to the beach, but if the buildings are further back from the beach, the warriors just run all over the place. Yeah, don't do that. Time 16. Flag. Okay, because everything's set back. You see that? I hope. What did we want for shocks on this? 1, 2, 3. Oh, never mind. This one I was going to do differently. Gotcha. So, different kind of flag landing here. Because there is this shock launcher down here, and it's going to be hitting bullet. So we're going to go like this with bullet. Flag him up there. And then we're going to flag all the warriors over to here. And then gather up on this cannon. We'll try and avoid the grappler back there too. Taunting the hot pot mainly here, that's the biggest deal. Critters back here, and what do we say? 1, 2, 3. Medkit. Coffee break. But yeah, ground flares, narrow building flares. This one I believe was an interesting place for bullet to stand. Yeah, we're gonna make life easier here. I'm gonna flare up to this machine gun and then over to the HQ. He should be taunting this and the shock launcher as well. And then I just need a shock over here, shock over here, shock over here. And these guys, or this guy, does not have very good mines either. I don't want the sniper tower to die, however. So I'm not going to barrage over it now. Remember I mentioned that there's a situation where you can just drop bullet on the beach with grapplers? I'm going to do that here. So actually they've got two things of interest, but watch how quick this is versus the other landings where I let bullet wander up the beach. Not so in this case. So we can still use this, there's just this lower smoke landing with in a grappler situation often, but you have to do it in a certain way, basically, which is that very, very speedy delivery that I just showed you. If you mess around even a little bit with it, bullet will get grabbed by the grapplers. Bullet ended up in a weird spot. Not quite what I was expecting. Anyway, no matter. I know we're getting close on time. One more, two more. If there's anything good out here. Oh, yes, I definitely wanted to do this one. Okay, so we're going to be using, well, bullet is going to taunt everything. He's going to taunt this shock launcher and this hot pot. And this, well, we're just going to shock or through it. So let's see. And this I wanted to show just because hot pots are, or microwavers are stupid. And really no one should be using them. very, very easy to work around. Great for hammermen, but who cares? Hopefully I don't screw this up. There's a chance. Now let bullet wander here, that's okay. No grapplers, no blasters. And everybody gets to the middle, and then we flare. Okay. Get the warriors gathered up, get bullet into place. We're going to do another shock over here. And med kit. Taunt is ready. Bullet's got everything. We're going to do another shock over here. So, yeah. Not a bad setup allows me just to keep shocking this one thing over there, basically. But, I mean, that's a microwaver sitting on top of an HQ, and it's still not stopping the warrior rush. So what is a microwaver doing? Not really much of anything. I know we're at 20 minutes. I've got like 4 more guys to do. This one, I'll do 2 more and probably cut it. This guy, I didn't think I'd have the GBE for the 4 shocks I would need here, so what I'm going to do is do 3 shocks and some critters. Critters should come out first. Probably critter for this shock launcher down here, or it doesn't really matter, one of the 2 shock launchers. Standard landing, flag up high. Let bullet wander, that's fine in this case. His whole job is to take shots to the face, that's what he does. He's a heavy on steroids. Bullet sponge, right? That's what they're described as, heavies. And he is that, just more so. Remembering that I have the troop health, which is really, really helpful here. Critter, 1, 2, and 3 shocks. And perfect. So, having a good plan in advance. I knew I wasn't going to have the GBE for the 4th shock, so because they get expensive, so figure out a way to use something alternate, in this case critters, to keep yourself alive long enough to bash down the HQ. And we had a corner base, which is always fun. And with this one, the mines too, I think I was just looking at his mines and trying to figure out where optimally to put this barrage. Trying to get extra GBE off that. I think I did, actually, so that's good. Need you dead for sure. Don't know if I need that dead, but I'm gonna kill it. Flag landing. Again, free beach. Let bullet get ahead when you're doing that, because, I mean, he's much slower than the warriors. Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. There's a... We can smoke really late here, that's a bonus. And there's another boom mine back there. And what did we need for shocks? Looks like 2. Bullet taunts the hot pots, which is great, because otherwise they would wreck you. Yeah, hot pots on the beach, I was getting to this point earlier, hot pots on the beach, if they see you, they torch you in a second. You can get a regular flamethrower if it sees you a little bit. Yeah, your boys get crispy around the edges, but they're fine. Hot pot sees you, it will just melt you. So that's a really good time for using the 2 smoke landing that I was talking about. Keep everything covered up. Anything good? Is it worth it? Nah, whatever. Okay, well, never mind then. So I'm gonna call it a day because I know I'm already at almost 25 minutes. If you have questions, ask. Try to if you know, refer to a base if you're wondering why I did something. Ask a question. I would be happy to answer. It's just too time consuming to break a base down beforehand for every single one of these attacks. We cover a lot more ground if we just, you know, just have at them. Anyway, I'm gonna finish off this map, what the 3 or 4 bases are left here or whatever, and I'm gonna call it a day. So I'll catch you guys later. Take care.